Okay, hello everyone. Oh, hello. Hi. Hello people. Welcome. Hmm. Hello. 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 Okay, hello. Oh, hi, Karen, new account. Uh, can do some Kahoot later, please. Oh, have you been participating the Kahoot the previous times? And hello to all of you who have just joined. Have you all taken part? Oh, you haven't done the Kahoot before? Really? Then how do you know that there's Kahoot? Oh, and thanks for the likes. I went to other people's lives. Oh, then you didn't take part when you were in their lives? Like, I understand that there was one yesterday, and do you take part in that one? Oh, you were too late? Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, you ended already? Oh, okay. Because, well, usually we start the Kahoot at the end, but maybe moving forward that might change. Maybe we might do it at the random times of the TikTok live to spice things up a bit, you know. I see it ended already. Oh, okay. Same as Star. Ah, okay. Hello, Star. Yeah. So well, let's see about Kahoot. Okay. By the way, are y'all like in what levels are you in right now? You're like primary fives or what? Like this year? Oh, P5? Okay, that's good. Then this is totally for you. By the way, do you have your P5 papers? Can you like share them with us? Then we can take a look at how the P5 papers are. Then maybe we can do something along the lines of your school paper. Oh, Sec 4. Okay, hello, SquarePants. Is your name Bob? How's your Sec 4? Are you done with your O levels? I understand most should be done by now. Okay, hi guys. Welcome in. Starting slow. And we have a Korean, which I totally cannot read. Have you had your dinner? It's like almost 7. You failed math. Are you serious? I hope you're not. Do you do one-to-one, like one-to-one tuition? Well, if you're the only one in the class, then it becomes one-to-one lah. But sure. You failed math too? Really? Is failing math a in thing now? Well, then what I would say is that, well, you could consider coming for our tuition classes, or, and more importantly, you need to understand, well, why you are failing, right? So if you are failing because, you know, you didn't try, you were not too bothered, then you might want to start from there first, right? Failed primary 4 end of year exam. I'm good at math, but my brain ain't braining that time. Then yeah lah. So maybe if it's a one-off thing, then don't have to be all too worried. But yeah, if it's happening all too often, then maybe there's something else lah. There's other cause for concern. Not braining because why? Not enough sleep. Not feeling well. Math was super hard. Primary 4 probably isn't all too hard. I mean, to the stage where you cannot pass, a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? I mean, scrape through. I mean, if you pass, or you fail by 1 or 2 marks, okay, understandable lah, right? Not, I mean, sometimes it happens. But it's okay. You still have 2 years to go, so you still have plenty of time to buck up. But I mean, you have to make good use of that time, because P5, there's lots of new things that's being taught. Your classmate beside you is coughing so loud cannot focus. Oh, okay. That's quite unfortunate. You could actually inform your teacher. Okay. You're going foundation. Oh yeah, we don't do foundation. Foundation. Okay. Foundation will be, yeah, we don't do foundation, unfortunately. Okay, so if your classmate or whoever is coughing and then you can't concentrate, you can actually raise your hand to tell the teacher, maybe ask them to change your seat or something. I know it's in the middle exam, might be quite difficult, but you could try, right? I don't think it's physically possible that they will move you away and everything. It's logistically quite difficult, but maybe they have to, well, I don't know, you bring it up, there might be something to do. I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her lah. If you were to ask me if I were there also, there's really nothing much I could do lah. To put it another way, maybe you might want to rethink how you can focus better. So instead of focusing on the coughing, you focus on your paper instead. But I know a bit tricky. Yeah, so it's more of like trying to reframe your mind such that you are won't be too affected by all that. Because I mean, out there in real life, for all you know, you could be working in a very noisy environment and your boss won't take it as an excuse to, that you are therefore not able to produce the work, right? So have to find some way. So it's a good time to find some way to work on that. Okay. Yeah, we are going to do creative writing today. P5 is definitely going to be harder because we will demand more from you. You will notice that there's a huge jump in terms of the vocab, the requirements, how we need you to write, and of course the marking. At least when I was teaching, I used to mark using PSLE standard. So I'm not going to, how should I say, give chance in that sense. But I mean, it's for learning purposes, right? Because you're in primary 5, and so in that sense, it doesn't really quite matter that much. Are there new students in each class every year? Well, I believe so. There will be new students, right? Last minute becomes smart. This one, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't bet on it. Okay. I would prefer to work on consistency. So the whole, you have P5, P6 to work throughout the years. That is definitely better than trying to bet on a last minute sort of like ingenious sort of revelation of sorts. Okay, like you get some last minute inspiration. Okay, so yeah, okay, you play doors on roadblocks. I don't understand. Then why are you here? Then just enjoy the roadblocks ah. Okay, right. So okay, right. It's 7 o'clock. Right, so let's start with our situational writing. So for you all P5s, right, you all should be really familiar with the situational writing format, right? So and there should be a change in formats already. I think your school should have reflected that change, but yeah, it will take some getting used to. This one not as bad as the visual text change. The visual text change is even more well, complicated. It's quite close to what we are doing in secondary school. Okay, right. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, I shall be upfront and honest about it, right? So we will only do Kahoot once a week. Okay, so the Kahoot session was ready yesterday, right? So yeah, there won't be Kahoot today. Okay, so yeah, but you can still join in and participate and have some fun as we learn some stuff and prepare you for P6. Okay, right? Yeah. Yeah, sure, no problem. You can go for your Zoom tuition. That's not a problem, right? But yeah, okay. So let's look at the situational writing, and then we have the question analysis for um, the continuous writing, right? So if you have not downloaded this worksheet, you can download it. It's in the bio. I don't know where is it, left or right. I don't know where if I'm pointing at the correct direction, right? Yeah, we do have science, although I'm not teaching it. I teach English. I teach primary school English, primary school continuous writing. I teach secondary, right? Yeah. So science I don't do, but I know a bit. But yeah, I don't do. Not a specialist. Okay. Now, yeah, so if you download it, right, so let's go through this. Well, hopefully some of you have already tried it out, okay? So yeah, let's look at this one here. So you will notice that they'll tell you the context here. The 3 pupils at the canteen, right, during recess, right? And then there's this girl here, so her name is Siti. So Siti said, look, the primary 1 pupils have left their crockery on the tables again, right? So pests could appear, right? So we look at crockery, we're looking at the plates, the forks, the spoons, utensils, all of that, which you all use for eating, okay? Right? And so that refers to the crockery. So she's actually referring to, refer to these things here. Okay, the plates, the spoons, the bowls, the utensils that you have there, right? And then pests could appear. Now, this is out of the scope, because, well, I mean, they won't test you that here, but can anyone tell me what are the sort of pests you would expect if you have this kind of food lying around on the table? Anyone? Cockroaches, yeah, definitely, right? You could have cockroaches. I mean, can you imagine cockroaches crawling all over your canteen table? My goodness, disgusting. You wouldn't want to eat that again, right? Yes, definitely. You have birds, right? So birds, not so much the problem, but from there, the birds will, well, poop, right? And then the poop is actually unhealthy, right? Imagine having poop at your table, right? So yeah, you have your ants, definitely. You have flies, right? House flies and things like that, right? So I'm sure these are, well, animals, creatures that you don't want to have with you as companions when you have your food there, right? So, good. Most of you understand what pests are, okay? And so, yeah, these are the sort of pests you would kind of anticipate, right? If we leave the food lying around, right? And so this is an issue, okay? Now, so now looks like the primary 1 pupils still need some hand holding to do the right thing, right? And so this is by Raj. So what he's saying here, what do you understand by this hand holding? Anyone? What does this hand holding here possibly refers to? Right, crows, yeah, definitely those are part of the pests, but crows, not likely, usually more the minors. Hand holding, right? So there's the assistance, right? Yeah, we need to guide them, so there needs to be that sort of assistance, right? So the guiding, right? The guidance given to the primary ones, right? So no, it's not the holding of the tray. So this hand holding is like, think of it as literally you hold the hand, right? Then you guide the child along. So like, oh, so you take the tray. Once you are done, take the tray, put the bowl on the tray, put your spoon and fork on the tray, carry the tray, and here, let me bring you to the place to deposit your crockery, right? So it's literally like bringing them, doing it with them, showing them how it is done, right? Then you handhold them through the whole process so that they know what to do next time when they are on their own, right? So that's hand holding. You literally, well, hold their hand, well, but of course you have to do it all the time. Okay, good, good start. So you know now, okay, good, right? And so, well, and in this case, what do you think the right thing would be. And what is this right thing? What does the right thing refers to? Oh, no one? Wall of silence. Okay, right, yeah. Yep, good. Thank you, hot fella babe. Nice name, interesting name. Yeah, correct. Thank you, Crystal. Right. So yeah, the right thing is essentially to return, right? Like they mentioned, to return the crockery, right? That they are left behind. So it goes back to this returning the crockery to, well, the tray return or whatever they call it. Okay. Right. So there's that. So you need to understand that. Right. Good. So yeah, I think most of you got it. Right. So yeah. So ideally, you would want to mention the word crockery because this is how they've been talking about it, right? So if you talk about bowls or plates, right, then we might say, okay, then what about the utensils? What about the forks and spoon? If you only mention plates, then what about the bowls? Then what about the cups, right? So we're going to leave all of that there, right? So it will be better just to stick to the word crockery because it's a category that covers a wider category of items. Okay, right. Then let's go on. Let's see what Lily has to say. So Lily says that, well, maybe we can have a buddy system where the primary 6 pupils can pair up with them, right? So you have this suggestion, right, that, you know, we could pair them up. So this them would obviously be the primary 1 students, right? And so the older students, the seniors, can show them what to do. Okay, right. So let's move on to the next panel. Okay, right. So this next panel here. Okay, then we go back to what City says, right? Then yes, we can pair them according to their class and register number, right? So this, what City here has mentioned is basically the method or the way to do the pairing, right? So this is the idea of the how to do it, right? Okay. Okay, welcome to all of you who have just joined in. Okay, right, so yeah, then Raj here, right, will have, well, seems like Raj has a lot to say, so let's go through, right? So this sounds great, right? So the primary 6 pupils can show them what to do after their meal, right? And so basically he's just repeating what they said above about the hand holding, right? Now, so and notice that they did not say it directly, right? So you need to infer, make sense of it, that this whole right thing to do or what to do is essentially to return the crockery, right? Because there is this sort of inference that is needed from you. Okay, right, now, so shall we hold a contest to see which primary 1 class has the cleanest table by the end of term 2, right? So notice it's quite specific that there's this contest that they will observe the tables, and this whole contest will last until the end of term 2, right? So if there is a need, you probably need to mention the details. Okay, right? And then after that, winning the class, then the winning class can get some healthy snacks. So this would be the reward, right? The reward from the competition or the contest here, right? So you have the contest and you have these, well, prizes, if you will, right? The snacks as the prizes, okay? To entice the students to, well, take note. Okay? Well, no, there is no Kahoot today. I'm sorry. Okay, so I already mentioned earlier. So we will have 1 Kahoot a week, right? When it happens, well, we don't really know. So what I understand that it really happened yesterday. Okay, but today there's no Kahoot. Okay, yeah, but you can still join in and still learn, right? And prepare for your PSLE next year, right? So yeah, we're revising situational writing here. Okay, right. So yeah, sorry to disappoint. Okay, but yeah, you still can join in and learn, right? 12th November already have. So right, I think so. There shouldn't be. right? Unless I'm mistaken. You could always come and find out, okay? From what I understand, there probably isn't, but for all you know, maybe they want to do a surprise one. It happens, right? Okay. Right, now, so let's move on. Then after that, Lily says, well, that's a great idea. So she will email Mr. Harif their suggestion, right? And so basically, well, she just agrees with everything, and then that's what she's going to do, right? So now, oh, hi, Kayla and Si Ying. Okay, right? Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes there is, yeah, Kahoot, definitely. Okay, but yeah, today we don't have. I'm sorry to disappoint. Okay, but yes, now let's look at the question proper, right? Those of you who have the worksheets or you don't have the worksheets, you can download it. It's in our bio. You can go there, right? It's also found in the website. You can go to the website and find out and download. You can also sign up for the classes there as well, okay? Well, FYI, I'll be doing the creative writing, okay? Now, so let's look at the question, right? And so it requires you to imagine that you are Lily. Imagine you are Lily, right? So the girl in the picture, right? So the girl on the right, right? Okay. And then you are to write an email to your teacher, Mr. Harif, right? Like she mentioned, to share with him about the suggestion the three of you have agreed upon. Now, so you notice that the verb here that they're using is to share, right? Now, so ideally, right, your purpose of writing will need to mention this verb. So this is your purpose, right? In your school, how many of you have learned PAC? Anyone? PAC, have you all learned PAC? P, A, and C. Where can you redeem your bonus bucks? At the physical center. Okay, good. Yeah, you only learn PACC. Oh, very nice. What school is that? What did they teach you as the second C? That's correct. But yeah, Pac-Man, that works. Yeah, definitely. PACC, what's the second C that y'all were taught? Do y'all know your second C? Okay, but never mind, let's go down the list. So what's the first one? What's P? I'm glad that PSI is over. That depends on how you look at it. Once you go to secondary school, then you'll be like, I want to go back to primary school. Trust me, all your seniors have said that, okay? Very good. Culture. Okay, good. So it seems like your school is teaching the correct thing. Right. Right, so first one, P, good. Purpose. Right, and then A is for, yep, audience, good. WL got it. Is your name Wailing by the chance? Right, audience. Right, oh no, then it's wrong. The first C. Oh, your last C is context. Actually, okay, so I mean, it shouldn't matter. The second C for me usually will be culture. Why? Because well, I tell you all dirty secret of PSLE, okay? So you all listen. Now, so why for most schools they only teach your PAC? They ignore the last C because for your context in PSLE, they will try to keep it, or rather they have always kept it within Singapore for the most parts. So when you talk about culture, we're not talking about cultures from other countries already. So that one is pretty much moot, as a sense where you don't really have to worry too much. That second C, culture, will come in more when you go to secondary school, although I understand that generally, well, it's not too much of an issue anyway. But yeah, so the full thing, yes, correct, it's PACC, right? But the C that I am personally and I teach more is the one of context. This is definitely more important than culture, right? Because you need to know the context of what you are doing in order for you to answer the question appropriately, right? And so let's move on, right? And so your Mr. Harif here is the audience, right? I think that one is pretty clear, so I'm not going to harp too much on about that. But from the audience, right, you will know that therefore this letter is what sort of, this email is what sort of email? What do you mean by exam only PAC? I don't understand. You got 7/40 in situational writing. So your content and your language. So sounds like your language might have some issue. O level this year was speech writing. Yes, so I heard. I was actually just trying to spot it with my students, and we spot it correctly because we went through all the past year questions. I was like saying that the last time y'all had one speech was 2016, and then I think the N levels they had N levels was not N levels was, I can't recall, it was I think article writing or something, I cannot recall. But yeah, so then I was telling them there's a good chance it might be speech, and yeah, it turned out to be speech. So yeah, and that was what my student didn't want to do, but well, too bad. It was such his life. Okay. But anyway, yes. So what's the difference between formal and informal letter? Well, there is a difference, and that difference you must know, because if you don't know, you'll be penalized in the exam, right? So that one you must know. Okay. So yeah, let's go into a bit of the details later. Okay, got 14.14. Okay, good. And it can be done. Oh, 2 for out of 7. No, it shouldn't be 7. It should be 6 for content and 8 for language now. But anyway, yeah, let's get there. Okay, so now the context here, right? So if you recall the context actually has to go back all the way. We're talking about this particular suggestion here, right? So the context refers to this suggestion, and how did this suggestion come about? Because of the crockery, the utensils and all of that, right? So the crockery, right, left behind by the P1s, right? So this is the context, and so there's this dirty canteen, and they are trying to make sure this doesn't happen again. So that's the context in this, right? Okay, so yeah, so that's PAC first. Now, so when the audience is the important thing that you need to know in order to know whether it is formal or informal. Now, in this case, because you're writing to your teacher, Mr. Harif, it will be formal. Right now, so for the benefit of those who are not too sure, okay, maybe because you are P4, right? I don't know. So let me just tell you a bit. Okay, so let me move this up a bit, right? So now, generally speaking, we have formal and we have informal. Now, be it email or letter, it's the same. It doesn't quite matter. Okay. Now, so formal generally it will refer to someone of a higher social ranking. So in other words, if someone has a higher position than you, right, in terms of the society ranking, you are going to be that will likely be a formal letter. So for example, if you write to your teacher, right, a teacher is of a higher ranking than you, right, you write to your principal, you write to most adults for that matter, generally you will tend to write in a formal way. Okay, right? Now, so informal, right, generally refers to, well, two main groups of people, generally family and friends. Okay, so for informal is generally these two groups. So your family and friends will include things like your relatives, right? Your grandparents, your parents, whoever that's family, right? Then of course friends, I think you would know, right? Now of course, unless you say that my teacher is my friend, then that one depends on you are writing to your, this teacher as a teacher or as a friend, right? Then yeah. Okay, but yeah, generally speaking, right? So this is how you want to differentiate the two. So formal is for higher social ranking, and informal, generally speaking, for family and friends. Okay, so yeah, I hope you understand that now. Okay, president, yeah, although we haven't actually got situation of you writing to president before, but sure. Although this year's O level, they had to write to president of the student council. So yeah, in a sense, president. Okay, yeah, cousins as well. Okay, now so let's go back to the question. Right, so we look at the question, right? So what has not changed, right, is this idea that there are 6 points here. So what they want here is the problem observed, so that's 1, and its consequence, right? So what happens as a result of this problem? Okay, now number 3, right? How the buddy system can be arranged, so the way in which it is done. So this is number 3. Then what the primary 6 students need to do, right? So this one is more of a handful, right? You have to mention what they need to do. And then they tell you here 2 details, right? So this will be 5 and 6, right? So the 6 points are clearly written out there, okay? Right, so in situation writing, so who was it just now? I think, was it WL, is it? Who got 2 out of 6 for content? Is it you? Cannot recall. Who got? Yeah, so if you have, right, so this is what you want to do to identify what the points are, right? So you want to identify that where the 6 points are first, then you go back to the context and find, right? So if we were to go back to the context and look for them, right, we will know that, let me change this, right? So let's go back. So the first one is the problem observed and its consequence, right? So the problem, right, quite straightforward, okay, will be this idea that the crockery has been left behind by the primary 1 student. So this is number 1, right? And the consequence would be, what's the consequence, people? Oh, I noticed there's a lot of brain rot words here. Can you all like not do that? But I suppose too much to ask for, right? So what's the consequence of these actions of their primary 1s leaving the crockery on the table? Right, very good, thank you. Right, so the pests could appear, right? So this is my point number 2, right? And then we have point number 3, which is in essence how the buddy system can be arranged. And that it's found where? How can it be arranged? Right, yep, we got the pests. So how can it be arranged? Where will we find that answer to that question? Anyone? Girl will come. Crow ants, girl will come. I don't understand. Well, that right, good, yeah, correct, Star. So there's this idea of this buddy system and how is it done. So the buddy system is one thing. So they ask you how the buddy system can be arranged. Is basically can be arranged. Yeah, so the P6 pupils can pair them up, but how? Right, so how? Right, so it's actually here, right, where you can pair them according to their class and register number. So this is point number 3. Okay? So they're asking you how, the method, the way in which it is done. Okay? By the way, your foreign cousin, your foreign is spelled wrongly, okay? So yeah, take note. Unless that's on purpose. Okay, then I don't know what word that is. That's like your foreign cousin. Okay, is that some other language? Okay, anyway, let's move on. Number 4, right? What the primary 6 pupils need to do, right? So what the primary 6 pupils need to do is basically, it's cryptic, right? So here they tell you that there is the hand holding above, right? Then they tell you they have to show them what to do, right? And so, but you should be able to tell, like just now, most of you were able to tell, is that this hand holding is basically referring to teaching them how to return the crockery, right? So this one here is cryptic, but this is here number, oops, this should be 4. Okay, so these 2. But you have to explain. You cannot just say, you know, show them what to do and hand holding. That will be wrong, right? So you have to explain exactly, which goes back to this idea that they have to return the crockery on the table. Okay, now then we move on. The 2 details to encourage the primary 1 pupils, right? And so that can be found below. And so our 2 would be in essence the contests. Here there'll be 5. Right, and you probably want to give the details of the contest if you are more kiasu, right? And then after which you have the, well, snacks as the reward, and this will be 6. Okay, yep, good, Star, you got it, very good. Okay, well, the rest, some of them are just in their own dimensions, talking about toilets, so we shall ignore them. Toilet's not the most hygienic place, but yeah. Okay, come. So let's go back to this, right? And let's write out a possible answer to this particular question. So let me bring up my toolbar. Okay, and let's see. Do I have to... Oh, there we go. Oops. Yeah. And then let's make this 1.5. I think it's 1.5. Okay, right. So for this, right? Yeah, we will need to start with dear. Right now, because it's formal, maybe I should change the color. I'll just change it to blue, might be better. Right now, because it's formal, you will not want to start with hi or hello. That will be an informal start. So yeah, dear will be a good start, right? And we know that he's writing to Mr. Harif. Very good. Right now, so what must happen after the Mr. Harif? This is something that you all must take note. After the Mr. Harif, what must be there? Not the who you are first. Yes, very good. The comma, right? This punctuation, why is it autocorrect? Thank you very much, but please don't do that. Right? So after Mr. Harif, there must be the comma, right? So the comma is very important because if you don't, we will circle it and it's a punctuation. Okay, so it's important, right? Now, then we move on to the next paragraph, which is your introduction, right? And so in the introduction, okay, you will want to state the purpose, right? So the purpose is going to be important in the introduction. And someone did mention that you want to mention the name. That is optional, right? But yes, in real life, you want to state who you are. Otherwise, people don't know who you are, right? So in real life, you want to do that. Yes, you introduce yourself. But for the purposes of PSLE, you don't have to. But if you wish to, you will not be penalized, but you will also not be given extra marks. Okay, but yeah. So let's do the correct thing, which is let's introduce ourselves. And so I am, well, Lily, right? And because this is a formal writing and you are going to introduce yourself, right? You will definitely need to introduce yourself with your surname, right? And so you can write, well, let me just come out with Lily Kong, right? If you can know who she is, but you probably won't, right? And then from whichever class, I don't know. What classes are you from? What class should I put? 6 what? Any class? Anyone? Any idea? 5 who? P6 lah. 5 joy. Okay, I can have 6 joy, 6 love. Oh, interesting classes you have. 6 kindness. 6 what's IU? What kind of? IY? What kind of class name is that? 6 love. You want to go with 6 love? 6 E3? You mean the secondary express tree? 6 Aristotle. My goodness. You must be from some Catholic school. Right? 6 KBD. Nah. 6 gratitude. 6 love. 6 integrity. 6 love and compassion, respect. 5 joy, teamwork. Okay, since love is such a recurring theme, let's go with 6 love. Okay, so then yeah, love. Okay, then small heart love. Okay, I'm from PL. PIMGS. Okay. Right, so yeah, anyway, let's go with 6 love because love seems to come out a bit more often. Right, I'm from 6 love. A bit cringe like you ask me, but sure. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, okay, so like I said, C, right, that the introduction, right, in real life, when you write a formal letter to someone, you will want to introduce yourself first, right, especially if they don't know who you are and they're not expecting an email or letter from you. It is polite to do so. But for the purposes of PSLE, you don't have to, right? I'm just writing it here to make it, well, more polite. Okay, so here, then we will just end the sentence here. Don't have to be all too complicated. Then I'll move in with the next part, which is the more important part, which is essentially the purpose. Well, good for you, PSLE over. You're going to collect results in 1 week's time, right? Okay. So, like we used to say, when me and my friends, when we were students, we used to say, examinations not so scary. Waiting to get the results, even scarier. Okay, that one is the scariest part. Anyway, the deal is sealed already. Once they finish marking, they do all the tabulating of the marks. The scores are already there, right? Your fate is sealed. Okay, so at this point in time, whether you worry, you laugh, you cry, nothing will change. Okay, already everything printed out already. Okay, they just need to deliver it to the schools, and then your teachers will give it to you. And yeah, your teachers won't know it any earlier than you. Or rather, okay, let me rephrase that. They won't know it like way in advance. They will only know it on the day when they go and give you the result. So they will definitely be there like a few hours beforehand to settle all the admin stuff. And during that time, they will get to see the results before you, not anything before. Okay, so yeah, so your teachers won't know at this point in time either. Okay, so but like I said, it's done, right? Once they tell you that pens down, stop writing, that's it. It's a done deal already. Okay. So anyway, yeah, getting the results is scarier. I agree. Now anyway, let's come back to this. Yeah, exams are okay. If you prepare well, you prepare sufficiently, you are a consistent worker, exams are, well, just another practice paper, if you will. Okay. So let's get in with the purpose. And so let's state the purpose, right? Remember that when we talk about the question, right, they wrote there that you are to share, right? And so we will use that verb there. Will the teacher check my O-level result? What do you mean your O-level result? I think it's probably the same. I never taught in secondary school before, I only taught in JC and primary school, but likewise, I believe that they will probably only get the results like on that day. On the day they're going to give you the results, just that they have to go there a few hours earlier to settle the admin stuff, and so during which they'll see the results. That's probably about it, right? Okay. So yeah, so let's get with the purpose, right? And so I am writing, right? So which some of you have correctly pointed out, that's what you'll be writing. I'm writing to share, right? With you, right? So we use the verb that is provided in the question, which is to share, right? A suggestion. Okay. That's my classmates. Then let's just name our classmates to be polite in case they don't know who they are, right? So Raj, let's just give a surname to it, Raj Singh. And Siti, I don't know. Siti what? Siti, I can't think of a surname. Siti Muhammad. Okay, can Is that easier one? I don't spell Muhammad. Let's spell Muhammad with a U. Muhammad. Okay, I'm sorry I cannot spell, but yeah. Okay, but yes. But you don't need the surname there. Okay, I'm just trying to put it there. I mean, technically speaking, it could be a city code, but yeah. Okay, but yeah. Anyway, this one annoying. Wait, let me settle the. So I have to do the spacebar thing. Okay, never mind. Spacebar it shall be. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I wrote the full name of the classmates, right, just to be consistent. No, we are Lily Kong, not King Kong. Okay, King Kong climbed the tower and then got shot down. Okay, then King Kong got to fight Godzilla. Okay, although I didn't watch the movie, right? And so anyway, So there's a suggestion that my classmates have, right? After noticing, right? And so we're going to state the problem, right? Noticing something, right, of concern during recess, right? So we keep it that way. Now, of course, it's not wrong that if you want to mention straight away the problem of the crockery being left behind by the primary ones, right? But I decided to keep it in the body paragraph. Okay, so let's move on to the body paragraph. Okay, now so here, right? Then we go on. So we in this case is very clear. It's going to be this Raj, Siti, and you, Lily. Okay. We noticed that the primary one students, right, have not been returning their crockery, right? So they have not been returning their crockery to the, I don't know, to the what do you call that? To the well tray return corner, right? And this could inadvertently, right? So let's use a big word, but I mean you could leave out this adverb, right? You don't need it. Attract, right? Attract pests, right? So yeah. So here, right? So just to bring our attention to this. So here we have the problem, which is not returning their crockery. So that's 1, right? And then the attracting of the pests is 2. The word inadvertently, I'm just trying to, well, make things a bit more interesting. You don't need it. And yeah. Oh, why does, okay. Then let me see, let me erase this first. Erase this again. Hang on, technical issue. Okay, then let me write this again. Okay, so yeah, returning the crockery, it's 1, attracting of pests is number 2, right? So we're done with the first 2 content points. So who was that? WL. So when you write, you want to take note of these things, okay, so that you can get all your content points. Inadvertently means at some point in time, unfortunately, something like that will happen, right? Usually refer to like something that's bad. So eventually it will unfortunately happen, okay? And if you want to Google, right, please use a proper dictionary. Google is not a good dictionary, right? Because sometimes there could be multiple meanings and they may not give you the correct one in the context. Use a proper dictionary like Oxford or Cambridge, okay? Use the British dictionaries because, well, eventually you'll be taking a British exam unless you go to some IP school, but then after that you decide not to do your A-levels and then you go and do your poly, well, which is quite strange, okay? But yeah, I'm sure it happens, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we are going to do British English, right? Okay, anyway, like I said, inadvertently is an extra word. You don't need it. I'm just trying to spice things up a bit, right? But yeah, so like I said, inadvertently is this idea that something will eventually happen, right? And usually, unfortunately, right? So like, for example, so like I said something bad, right? So inadvertently, you will next year, you will have to take your exams, right? So the idea that, you know, it will happen eventually, right? And generally there's this negative meaning to it, like you know, and there's this like unintentionally, something like that. Okay, yeah, compo we will only go through the question analysis. We don't have time to write a compo, and at this rate we're going, we probably won't have even time to go through the question. So anyway, let's move on. I think I'll tell you what, let's just do away with the inadvertently because it's causing so much problems. Okay, so yeah, but it's like like I said, it's unintentional. Okay, you don't, they didn't intend for it to happen, right? So like the primary ones did not think that it will attract the pests, right? But it will. You're not good at compo, well, come join our writing classes. You can join me online or you can join our physical classes. I take the online classes, so I'll teach you how to write properly, okay? Don't worry, I'm a PSLE examination marker, so I know what they want, okay? Even though they change. Anyway, they reduced the scores already, so, well, should be simpler. Okay, just need to figure out the new rubrics. Okay, so let's move out. 21 or 36. Okay, so probably content, your language probably needs some work. Okay, the content-wise maybe not so interesting as well. Okay, come. Let's continue with this, otherwise, yeah, we won't finish. So anyway, could attract the pests, right? So we're done with point number 1, point number 2. Okay, so WL, so you are not sure, you want to check, okay? So you want to check when you are done, whether you have all the points, okay? That's why it's like we labeled the points earlier at the start. Okay, now, so then to address this matter, right? So comma, we have 2 suggestions, right? Now, so do take note that for numbers between 1 to 10, you need to spell them out, okay? Spell out 1 to 10, right? So yeah, don't just write 2 as in the number 2, okay? Right, then after which, let's mention what the 2 suggestions are. So let's make it very clear. So you can go with the first, or you could write firstly, right? Being to pair, right, the primary, let's go with capital P because I put capital just now, primary 6, right? Right, but for this 6, because we're referring to the primary 6 as a level, we can use the number, right? Students, and then according, so we tell them how it's done, to the class and register numbers, right? We could pair them according to their register number. They only have one number, sorry. Okay, so that the older students, right, can show the juniors, right, what other to show the juniors how to clear their crockery after their meals, right? So we mentioned, right, the point number 3, which is how they do it. So it's according to their, oh, wrong color, according to their class and register number. So this is point number 3, right? And then we have number 4, which is to show how to clear, right? And which is what is the hand holding about, right? So point number 4 specifically is about what the primary 6 pupils need to do, and that's it. Okay, now okay, so now then let's move on. Okay, yeah, I noticed the humble brag. Okay, 47 over 50. Well, that's a good job, right? If you can keep it up. But primary 5 will be a different ball game, so keep at it. Okay, those of you who didn't score your ideal score, don't worry, you still have 2 years to the PSLE. It's a good time to work on it, and like I said, you can always join us. We will help you in this journey. Okay, you can join the online class for writing if you want. My colleague is taking the P6 writing. That's on Friday evening, I believe, right? Or you could join us at our physical classes, okay? Although I'm not taking P6 this year, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on, right? So that's the first suggestion, right? So we're done with the first suggestion. Let's move on to the second paragraph for the second suggestion, because that will be a nice separation of ideas. We have a new idea, so we go to a new paragraph. 12 upon 14 for situation writing, that's a very good score, right? Keep at it. I teach at Yishun. Like I said, I don't teach P6 this year, but if you want to come look for me to ask questions, not a problem. Okay, you're most welcome to. Just tell me your Crystal or whoever you are. I probably won't know who you are, but yeah, sure. Okay, now anyway, 14 by 14, well, full marks are definitely possible and it's not uncommon. But just the only thing you have to look out for is your grammar, your language. Okay, you go Sengkang CC, well, that's not too far. I have my colleague there, Mr. KH, teaching science there. I think you might see him. Okay, but yeah, Sengkang is not too far. Okay, but anyway, yes. Right now, so the second suggestion, right? So the second suggestion, right, in essence is to have, right, the contest, right? A contest, okay, where the classes, where the class, okay, with the cleanest table, right, for the most days, right, by the end of term 2, let's spell 2 out. Okay, let me see, term 2. You are 19 years old and you're here. Okay, I think you must be bored, but welcome. You can always join in and see if you can recall what you did like 7 years ago. Do you recall your primary 6 stuff? Okay, I don't know your name, but you seem like you're fencing, right? Fencer. Okay, right. So anyway, hey, yeah, don't be surprised. You're going to ask your secondary school seniors, right, to do your primary 6 math questions. They don't know how to do because they don't use that method of solving math anymore, and so they will likely forget how it is done. Okay, so yeah, to put it another way, your math methods generally are not all too useful in secondary school. Okay, but anyway, yeah, to term 2, right, will get to win a prize, right? And so the sentence is actually very long already, so let's just end it here and we'll elaborate about the prizes in the next sentence, which is also going to be the second way in which we can motivate them, right? Okay, and so the prize, right, so then we are proposing, right? So someone just now said the word propose. So yeah, let's use the word proposing. We are proposing that the price be healthy snacks, right? So be healthy snacks. Okay. These should be good enough, right? Incentives, plural, because we have the contest and we have the snack, so there's two of them. So plural incentives. 200 upon 300 for PSLE. What is this? Oh, okay. Right, anyway, yeah. So 200 for 300 for PSLE and you got cane. That's unfortunate, but I mean 200 is okay. It's not exactly that bad. If you think about it, 200 upon 300 is like 2/3 of the score. It's like 67%, right? Okay, but I mean, different parents, different expectations, so they probably expected more from you, well, for better or for worse, but I think that is past that stage and you are where you are right now. I hope you are, well, learning to the best of your abilities and being the best that you can be. That is more important, right? The score is just a score. You are not your score, okay? You are not defined by your score, okay? Now, anyway, now there should be good enough, these should be good enough incentives, right, to encourage the primary students, right, to keep their tables clean, right? So actually we have already written quite long. This is more than sufficient, and actually I've written more than what I would normally have written, but because of the context, we regularly have to write a bit more. Now we go to the polite ending, right? So, or rather, let's look at, right, the main points. So the main points here will be the two ways. So there is the contest, right? And then there'll be the healthy snacks, right? So we have our 6 content points there, right? And plus, so far it's looking up to be a very formal letter. So yeah, no, before the yours sincerely, there's something else, okay? So before the yours sincerely, we need our polite ending. Now this polite ending is very important, okay? Because it gives an idea to the examiner whether you know what you're doing, right? And usually this polite ending is unique depending on the circumstance. That means depending on the question that's given to you, it may not always apply. Okay? Yes, so there's one, yeah, right. Thanks for your time, and I hope you consider my idea is correct, but it's informal. Okay, and if you write, like someone wrote, we hope to see you as soon as possible, it's definitely wrong. Why do you need to see Mr. Harif? Right? You just need to write to him. You just ask him to consider your suggestion. So there's no need to see him. So that's totally wrong. Okay? I hope you can reply to this email. Is there a need for him to reply to you? There isn't. Right? He just needs to consider your suggestion. If he wants to talk to you or whatever he wants to reply, he can do so. But there is no need for him to reply to you. So that one is not so appropriate, but I think they will just let it slide. Okay, now we hope you can accept our idea and thank you for your time would be absolutely appropriate, right? And that will be a good way to end. Or then like no nickname, I hope you can consider a suggestion would also be fantastic. Okay, so that'll be good. Okay, so yeah, I think most of you got it. Yes, Star has a very good one. Thank you for your kind attention and okay, you don't want to say accept my suggestion. That will be very how do you say? It's like going to your parents and telling you, we will go to, I don't know, Japan for holiday, and we will just go. Okay, so that's a bit, you know, call us more like, rather like rude. Okay, so yeah, just say thank you for your kind attention, and I hope you will consider my suggestion. Right, that'll be good enough. Okay, so yeah, so most of you seem to get it, right? So let's just go with, right, thank you for your time, right? Right, then I'll just put a full stop here. Then if you want, right, we can say we hope that you will consider our suggestion, right? And so yeah, we hope they can consider a suggestion. That shall be good enough. Okay, now technically speaking, if you cannot think of anything and you just end with thank you for your time, it will also be okay. So in the examination, right, that will be fine. But for practice purpose, well, be a bit more detailed, right? To show that you really understand the context, right? Okay, so good, right? So we have our last part that we need in the writing, which is essentially the signing off. And so yes, correct. So as some of you correctly mentioned, so it will be yours sincerely. Now please take note, right, that the yours, okay, so let me just highlight this. The Y is a capital Y, there must be a S, then the sincerely is a small s, and then of course please spell it correctly. So this has to be spelled correctly, and you need your comma. The comma is important. And then yes, we sign off with our name, and just now we introduced ourselves as Lily Kong, and so here we shall just continue with the name Lily Kong. Okay, and of course you can come up with any surname that you want: Lily Tan, Lily Sim, Lily Go, Lily Mohammed, Lily Singh, whatever, anything. Okay, can? No, the name is not baby, so you cannot write baby. If you write baby, you'll be penalized. And yeah, so WL, the yours, the Y is small letter, so it must be capital. Okay, so yes, we have come to the end of our situational writing. Any questions, comments, contributions, complaints, suggestions? Anything? Oh, and thank you all for joining and sticking with me, and thank you for your 12,000 likes. I give you all 2 hearts in return. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, right. So we have a few more minutes. Let me go through to the continuous writing question. What do you mean by qualified tutor? I am an MOE trained teacher, still have my cert, but I'm no longer with MOE, if that's what you're asking. So if that is qualified to you, then well, I am. If that's not qualified to you, then I am not. So depending on what you are looking for in qualification, okay? So that depends on your criteria. How many of experience? That's a very cheap question. I don't understand the English, but sure. How many years of experience? Well, at MOE, I have about 8, 9. Here I have about 1 or 2. I lost count, not important. But yeah, I've seen enough. I only teach P5 and P6, so they are my specialty. P5, P6, my specialty. I have been marking PHI papers, so I know what in the world is going on. I know the mistakes that students make. Like this year's one, something new. I saw the topic, I know gg.com already, because some people will mention flashback. And if in your flashback you already mentioned something along the lines that you have done this before, good luck to you, okay? I have heard that, you know, they actually had to, there were some issues with the marking. I suspect, I don't know, I have no confirmation. I suspect it's because they cannot quite decide what to do with people who actually did not say that this was something new, or they somehow suggested that it was not new before. Then they don't know whether to fail them or not, okay? Yeah, but anyway, let's move on, okay? Now, how to get bonus bucks? The bonus bucks are only given in the physical classes. The online classes don't have bonus bucks, okay? You can write argumentative for CW. In theory, you can, right? You can. But can you do it? Because you see, typically for argumentative writing, right, there is a statement for you to argue about. Let's say we look at this one here. A foolish act. There is no statement for you to argue for or against. It's a bit difficult. That means you have to come up with your own. In theory, can it be done? Yes. So you could write about that. You could, for example, if we want to, maybe I tap it up a bit, might be easier. You could, for example, if you want to do argumentative, tell us, for example, but more like, it's not so much argumentative, it's more going to be like, what's the word? Suddenly slipped my mind. It's like going to be, oops, I forgot the word. Okay, it's going to be more like information sort of text, right? Okay, slipped my mind. So maybe you might talk about the definition of a foolish act. So like the definition of the word foolish, right? And then you might go around to talk about, you know, why people can be acting foolish, then how they act foolish, and then you could give the examples, right? And then, you know, then maybe you could debate whether something, is it foolish or not, you know, things like that. You could, but I don't think it's in your capacity as a P6 to do so. I tell you that, you know, honestly, some secondary school students still struggle to do argumentative, okay? So, but if you can, by all means, go ahead. But like I said, it's difficult because there is no statement. In secondary school, they'll give a proper statement like, you know, like foolish act a bit difficult. If someone when someone if someone does a foolish act, is he really foolish? Something like that. Then there's something to argue for or against that statement, right? But here there isn't, so it's quite difficult. Yes, I remember the word. It's expository essay. Okay, you could write an expository essay, but your teachers wouldn't have taught you. We won't teach you in 8th grade. I'll be honest with you, because it's very difficult to do so, right? At your levels, you're not. Most I won't say all. Most of you will find it difficult to do so. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so let's quickly go through this. A foolish act. So for this sort of question, right? Let me just, in the few minutes that we have left, this is the equivalent to this year's PSLE's topic, where they say, where's my pen? Where they tell you something new. Now, why are they the same? Because in this case, what you need to know is this word foolish, is the word new. What are they? These are essentially your adjectives. The adjective is important. Just like, I think it was 2016 or 17, they had that one, special gift. Your adjective again, this special. Your topic must show these adjectives. So in this case, you must show that it was a foolish act. In other words, it was silly. It didn't make sense. It was illogical. It was, well, to put it in a very blunt word, it was dumb, right? Foolish act. In the PSI for this year, something new. New means you have not done it before. And so, if in the writing you show that you have done it before, gg.com, okay, then you pray that the teacher or somehow or other, they will do something wonderful for you. Is this some contest to get us up to 16K or something? Can we aim for higher? Okay, let's aim 50K in the next 2 minutes we have left. But yeah, anyway, so then you have special gifts. Now that particular year in PSI, special gift was another pain also. Okay, so every time they do this adjective plus noun sort of questions, it has always been a problem, because you need to show it was special. Special means it is not common, right? It is something that's unique, right? And if you show that it is something normal, you are again screwed. Okay, right? What degree do you have? I have a degree in economics, but that is of no importance here. Okay, but anyway, if you want to know, I came from nothing upstairs. You don't know what that is, never mind. Okay, now anyway, yeah, so if we look at the word or the question here, foolish act, you must show that the act was foolish, right? And so if you were to go back to the pictures, right, it has to do with the foolish acts of either this cyclist, the smoke alarm, or sorry, the fire alarm, or this diary. Okay, I only have about 1 minute left before we call it a day. So I shall give you all some important tips, okay, that I, as a PSLE marker, that, I encounter, okay. So, number one, yes, I came from NUS, or rather, I graduated from NUS. I don't come from a place, not like NUS gave birth to me, okay. Thank you for your 371 likes and 18K like, okay, thank you, I give you all more hearts, okay. Okay, but anyway, number one, for those of you taking PSLE next year, use one picture and only one picture. If any other teacher tells you otherwise, rethink their advice, okay? Because why? Students who tend to combine pictures tend to not do so well. In that, they generally write a few separate stories, okay? So don't. So that's my first tip to you. The second tip is that, like, let's say in this particular topic, right? A foolish act, you don't know what to write about, okay? Then what I would suggest is you look at this one here, your two questions, okay? So your two questions, right, here will tell you what to plan out for in your essay, okay, if you don't know what to do. So yeah, so those are my clues for you, okay. Right. So yes, it is 8 o'clock. Thank you for your presence. I really appreciate it. And the 20K likes, I know some of you fell short of the 69K like that y'all were trying to target, right? So yeah, likes for y'all. Okay, thank you. I'll see you again. Take care. We have another live tomorrow. So yeah, do come join us, right? I will be secondary math. Okay. So the secondary school students, if you are here, otherwise you can also join us for our online classes here as well, right? We have these subjects shown here, and I'll see you again. Okay. So yeah, do join us if you can. Like I said, I'll be teaching writing, primary creative writing, right? So do join me. 20K likes. Yes, thank you very much. More hearts for y'all. Okay, yeah, 20K. Thank you. Right, next time we aim for 69K. Okay. Okay, right. So thank you. Have a good evening, right? Those of you primary school, right? Last week of school, enjoy it, and then probably you enjoy your holiday. Okay, have a good one, right? Stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, right? See y'all sometime, right? Okay, take care. And like I said, you want to join our classes also. Okay, right? Okay. Yes, we have live tomorrow. Let me bring this down. Chotomate.